Hey, what's up, Cinema Masters? Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about 3 tips for shooting promotional videos and turning commercial work into art. Let's go. So I've been shooting commercial work as a filmmaker, cinematographer for the better part of the last probably 7-8 years, and it's always been important to me as a filmmaker, as an artist, to be able to create work that's beautiful and cinematic, but also know how to make money at it. See, I am part filmmaker and creative type person, not just a filmmaker, but I've been into music and design and all sorts of creative fields, but I'm also an entrepreneur. And so I was always trying to figure out as a filmmaker, how do I do this to where I can make money at it and, make good money and charge high prices, but also create really beautiful art? Because I know there's people out there that are okay with just shooting your typical corporate work that is interviews or internal and trainings, stuff like that, and they make a lot of money at it and they're fine and they just do that. And then there's other people who really focus in on just making beautiful stuff, but they don't know how to charge for it. And I just always thought that it didn't have to be one or the other. There had to be a way for me to create really beautiful work and also get paid really well for it, which has kind of been the focus of my career, I would say, as a filmmaker up until this point. So in today's video, what I want to talk about is how do you shoot commercial work for a client that gives them a business result and actually makes sense as a business video for that client, but also create work that is artistic and beautiful. So tip number 1 is all about the characters, okay? Characters are such a big element in any type of film, whether it's a commercial or it's a Hollywood movie. The reason that we go to the movies, the reason that we watch movies, the reason we watch commercial films and why we get so engaged in them is because we're engaged in the characters. Now, in commercial work, it works a little bit differently. You're not just sitting down and writing a script and creating whatever characters you want. What I do when I'm starting a commercial film and I'm working with a client is I go to the client and I talk to them, first of all, about who their target demographic is. So who is it that you're trying to attract? Each business and each client should have a good understanding of their target demographic. Who's the type of person that they want to get to buy their products or their services? And so we have a conversation about that. Is it mostly male? Is it mostly female? Is it typically people that are older? Is it typically more like millennials or Gen Z, younger crowds? Where do they live? Where do they go on vacation? What do they like to do in their free time? How do they use your products? What type of person is this? Now, the more clear you can get on that, the better it is, because then you can really drill in and tell a story about those characters that makes it meaningful and it actually relates to the people that are watching it. So when the business puts this video out that you've created for them, they want their customers to be able to see it and go, that's awesome. I can relate to that. That feels like me. And so then if they can relate to the brand that way, they're going to be a lot more likely to buy from them, which is going to make it so that they are able to get more sales from the video that you create for them. So rather than in feature filmmaking where you would sit down and come up with ideas for these characters, the cool thing about commercial work is that it's kind of crafted for you. You pay attention to the target demographic of the company that you're working with and then discover that character out of that brand and then portray that character on the screen. When you do this right and you really dig in and focus on who the character is and what do they act like and what do they like, you're going to make the film not only so much more powerful and engaging and people actually want to watch it, but it will serve its purpose as a commercial film and help the company to get more sales as well. Number 2 is the story. Now, all filmmaking comes back to the story, right? The story is the most important thing. And this is especially true in commercial filmmaking. Now, in feature films, the goal is to tell a story in order to keep it engaging and make it so that somebody wants to watch it all the way through the end, so that they'll buy a ticket to the movies, so that they'll go buy a ticket again, and then they'll buy it on DVD, and then they will make more money from the movie, right? And having a good story is an important aspect of that. Now, from a business standpoint, having a good story is what engages your customer and makes them fall in love with the brand and the company that's actually making the video. So what we do in our commercial films is, after we've got the demographic and we know who the characters are, we know who we're putting in the film, then we decide, well, what is the story that we're trying to wrap this brand in? What is the message that we're trying to get across? What are the characters doing? What emotions do we want them feeling? What does their lifestyle look like with this product or service or location in their life? So a lot of the work that I've done in the past has been for luxury hotel brands, and typically we go out and we find out what their target demographic is. We go to the talent agencies, we get the characters, we get the talent, and then we bring them in and we wrap them in a story. What is the emotion that they're going to feel while they're staying at this hotel? What are the things that they're going to be doing? And we try to tell a story from beginning to end. So what does it look like when they arrive at the hotel? How did they get there? What does their experience look like while they're there? And then what does it look like when they're done and when they're leaving at the end? Just like you would with a movie, you also might want to take into consideration doing something like adding some conflict into the story as well. In some types of commercials, this can work really well, where you show the character and their life without the product and how bad it looks and the conflict from that, and then show the resolution that happens when they're able to get the product in their life, which follows, you know, basic storytelling principles of conflict and resolution, but you can use it in a commercial storytelling type situation. Number 3, after the characters in the story, is now the features or benefits of the product. Now, this is probably the biggest mistake that most commercial filmmakers make, and most businesses make when they're producing videos, is that they usually put this number 1, right? They usually want to go all in on the features first. These are all the things that we want to show off about our product or our service and everything that we do and how cool it is and how awesome it is. But ultimately, when your customer is watching a piece of marketing material or video from you, you have to keep in mind that it's not about you, the company, it's about them, the customer. And that's why we put the characters and the story first. Then the features or the benefits come last. So when you've got your characters, you know who they are, you know the story that you're wrapping them in. Basically with the features, you want to look at, okay, what are the features or the benefits of this product that we want to showcase in this video, and how can we wrap those into the story so that we're showing the characters using this product and how their life is benefited from it and what their lifestyle looks like using it. So for example, with the luxury hotel videos, we would always go to the client, we'd say, okay, we would talk about the characters first, we talk about the story or the emotions that we want them feeling, how we want to resonate with the target audience in this video, and then third, I would ask, what are the amenities that you want to showcase in this video? And so they might say, we want to showcase the movie theater, the swimming pool, the game room, the hotel rooms, and you know, a few other things that they would name off. And so then what we would do is we'd take the characters and we would put them in those locations. See, we never have shots of just the game room by itself or just the movie theater by itself. I think it's a big classic mistake that a lot of filmmakers make, where it starts to look like a real estate video and just like a kind of a thrown together type thing where you're just kind of doing panning shots around the rooms and showcasing the rooms. To me, in commercial cinematography, it's never about the product. It's about the customer. And so we take the characters in their story and we put them in the location, using the amenity, playing in the game room, watching a movie in the movie theater. So we can showcase their experience, because ultimately that's what new customers are going to relate to, is watching somebody else experiencing it, not just shots of a room or the features of a product. So this is the process that I go through with every single commercial client from beginning to end in our pre-production, trying to figure out what is the story that we're telling so that I can create a piece of art that is artistic but also meets the commercial needs of the client so that it can help them to get more customers and make more money as a business, which ultimately is what makes them want to come back and hire us for more. Now, if you want to learn more about cinematography and how to create truly cinematic, like Hollywood style, beautiful artistic commercial films like this for your clients, I would highly recommend checking out my 1-hour free filmmaking training. It's down in the description down below. It's totally free. It's an hour long, and I go through my top tips for how to create really cinematic work and create a portfolio of work that will attract high-paying commercial clients so that you can build your business as a filmmaker and create really good, beautiful, artistic, cinematic work for your clients. So check that out at the link down below. If you have any questions or comments about this video, you can leave those down in the comment section down below, and I will see you on the next video.